Thank God it's Friday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Obiajulo Olabisi Ugbo. And with me, it's just one lady.
It's not ladies today. It's
How
one.
are you doing today? The traffic, eh?
So, I have experienced the traffic for the past 3 days. I went to the island coming back home. This morning, I didn't take my kids to school. I decided to come straight to work because I knew if I did that, I won't be able to make it. So, we have managed the traffic with as much maturity as we could, without lamenting. But it is time to complain. It is extremely choking. Everybody living in Lagos right now is experiencing the clog and the cog or whatever. It is really bad. And because I live around this area, it's been tough doing even school runs. Picking up the children from school, they spend almost 2 hours before they get home.
Yes, Mariah is stuck in traffic.
Yes, because the traffic is very bad.
Co-hosting today.
Yes, first time ever Mariah is co-hosting on the show today.
I'm going to experience that today.
Yeah, that should be fun.
Yeah.
It's like we're doing 10 years anniversary and we're experiencing what it was like in the first year of being on the show. But I'm happy that we're alive, we're here, and we're counting down. We're hoping that the people doing the Julius Berger, and as the information came to us earlier this month, that by 30th of April, they'll be done with the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. They actually keep to it so that we're counting down to when this traffic will be over.
I hope, because I planned for this ahead of time. Yesterday, I was telling my driver that we'll leave the house by 6 a.m. And he was like,
what's going on?
I said on Friday,
it's worse.
And that traffic still got me. You know, I was spending hours on traffic till I got into the office. Hopefully, 2 of us are here. We can start the show before they come. But today is my daughter's birthday.
Yay!
Kosi Sochukwu is 14 today.
Wow.
Yes, I'm a mother to a teenager. And we're not doing much yet. She's now a published author. I'm going to be releasing her book online today. So you can get it on Seller. Hopefully it will be coming on Amazon as well. So I'll just do that publications. Then I'll take my time to plan maybe like a little lunch for her. And then gift her
Congratulations,
her phone.
Kosi.
I promised her a phone that if she completes her task, which is to do something like a project, and she decided to write a book, and now she's done it. She's waiting for mommy to make do her promise. So she's my first daughter. I'm really excited about it.
I remember Kosi, I have a picture of Kosi at my wedding. She was a little...
Yeah, chubby.
Yes, mommy's hand. So, Kosi, I wish you long life and prosperity. You continue to excel and make all of us proud, doing good in the world. Today is also my mentor's birthday, Pastor Grace Ofure Ibhakumo. Thank you so much for your mentorship, your guidance, your love, your kindness. I've rarely seen anyone in my industry that is so passionate about another person in the same industry growing. Thank you for your love. I love you, Mrs. Grace Ofure Ibahumo. God bless you.
Yeah. So let's take a short break. When we come back, we take newspaper reviews, and hopefully Mariam would be able to join us. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. Today we will be starting with the Daily Sun. IPOB, Supreme Court grants federal government's request to file additional grounds in appeal against Kanu, adjourned till May 11. Court refuses to grant request seeking to stop census. Tinubu rejects APC, NWC push for South-South. Insists zoning should be to the South. APC senators elect route for Kalu as Northern Southwest coalition pushes for Southeast. Malami dismisses alleged claim about loss of 2.4 billion crude oil sale to China. Governors want Buhari to present new revenue sharing formula to National Assembly before May 29th. Federal government suspends fuel subsidy removal. Governors hail Osibajo in valedictory sessions for him. Don't abandon Buhari after May 29. Adamu APC boss begs Nigerians. Urges Nigerians to support Tinubu to succeed. Why Ugwanyu worked for my emergence? Mba Enugu governor-elect. 12 burns beyond recognition in Jos tanker explosion. So I took the story about the federal government suspending petrol subsidy removal. According to the story, it says Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning Zainab Ahmed disclosed this yesterday through a council, and they okayed the complete removal of the subsidy on petroleum products, saying that it's not sustainable anymore. but it was agreed that the date will be shifted to allow for more consultations with relevant stakeholders, including representatives of states and the incoming government at the center on post-subsidy mitigation plans for the masses. So according to her as well, she said the council agreed that the fuel subsidy must be removed earlier than later because it's not sustainable. We cannot afford it anymore. We have to do it in such a way that the impact of the subsidy is as much as possible mitigated on the lives of ordinary Nigerians. Hopefully. So that will require, looking at alternatives to the post-subsidy program that needs to be planned for and subsequently put in place to support the people that will be affected as a result of the removal. So they said they'll be working together with representatives across the states. They'll have a plan. They'll start working and putting the building blocks together towards eventually removing the subsidy. Now, the budget for 2023 already made provision for the subsidy. We know about that. But that ends in June. So now they've not given us the date of the subsidy removal. They're just pausing it for now so that they can do the proper consultations and then also find another way.
It's not going to be an easy thing to do because it will cost a huge... There's no way they can reduce the hardship. It will really, really inconvenience a lot of Nigerians. Yeah. So it's a tough decision and they're just shifting the goalposts of when they'll finally make the decision. But I hope that with the new administration, a lot more thought process would go into how to ensure that subsidy is removed without Nigerians crumbling under the weight of the new cost.
So I particularly do not agree with the 5,000 naira they want to pay.
No, it doesn't make sense. Yes,
but now that you're shifting it, are you going to be having conversations on building or licensing more local refineries, getting the private investors to come in so that we know we have refineries working before you take out the subsidy?
That's a tough conversation that they need to have.
Go ahead.
There's a sad story of 12 people losing their lives in Jos. This happened in the Jos North local government area of Plateau State. The incident occurred around 1:30 p.m. and it left about 7 vehicles burnt with tricycles, while properties worth millions of naira were also consumed in the fire. The Police Public Relations Officer, PPRO, Alfred Alado, confirmed the incident, describing it as unfortunate, but what happened was the tanker was heading towards Bauchi, so it was along the Jos to Bauchi road. The head of the tanker detached from the body of the tanker. The tanker rammed into a vehicle carrying passengers and everything caught fire, including the tanker itself, as well as 7 other vehicles. Said about 10 people were burnt beyond recognition. Wow. Guess the way the people reacted. They decided to burn the vehicle of the FRSC that came to
rescue,
to sort of like cordon off the area. They burnt that vehicle down. So we already have 7 vehicles burnt down by the fire that happened based on accidents. We didn't need to also now...
And a mob is now burnt.
Hoodlums decided to do that. So our heart goes out, of course, to the families of all of those who've lost their lives there. I hope they're even able to identify them. But anybody who has people on that road and hasn't seen their family members should start finding out maybe they were the ones involved in it. But it's such an unfortunate incident.
Painful one. Okay, let's move on now to The Punch. Federal government plans supplementary budget as next suspends subsidy removal. Rescued Nigerian students arrive Egypt, await airlift. PDP LP lost poll to overconfidence, Buhari. Tinubu, governors dump consensus for zoning. Governors advise Tinubu against endorsing candidates. Seek due process. Work with party leadership for principal officers election, Tinubu tells governors. Over 60,000 soldiers recruited under my watch, says Buhari. 2.4 billion dollar diversion claim baseless, says Malami. Nigerians rejoice as police go after rogue cops. Floods, 16 states eye federal government's relief fund. So I took the story of Nigerians rejoicing over police that going for rogue police officers. So we know that there's been this major issue in the police force.
Yeah, we're happy to see.
Yes, indiscipline, lack of professionalism among their rank and file. They said there's usually an open extortion of citizens, blatant misuse of firearms, extrajudicial killings and human rights violations. And this has, earned the organization that distrust from Nigerians. So in 2016, the World Internal Security and Police Index International rated the Nigerian police force the worst police organization in the world in terms of its ability to handle internal security challenges. It said the police were assessed in terms of capacity, process, legitimacy, and outcomes. But the Nigerian police force ranked below the Democratic Republic of Congo,
Wow.
Kenya, Uganda, and Pakistan. This was in 2016. But since then, different Inspector General of Police have made it a point of duty to ensure that they enforce discipline with police. So they went ahead, it's a very long read, went ahead to list where the police officers have, those found culpable who've committed one crime or the other, how they've been addressing them, suspending them, dismissing them, following them up, I'm
happy
and
to be
trying to
news.
solve the issues.
Yes.
Yeah, so that they can clean up the police system. I think this is a good
Let
one.
this go viral because a lot of people complain about police brutality or police corruption, and this is the police doing their own part in cleaning up the system. I want to take the story about the flooding. 16 states last year got flooded terribly. 201 persons died, 108 injured, 104 households were affected, 172,000 people were displaced in last year's flooding.
Wow.
So now there's going to be a compensation in 2023. And 16 states have submitted their reports. Leading is Jigawa, Osun, Yobe, Kaduna, Kano, Kebbi, Sokoto states, and others have submitted their own report on the impact of the flooding on their life. We're entering another rainy season and we haven't even fully sorted out compensation for the ones that suffered
before.
last year. It's similar to what happened in 2020 when many of us I filled the compensation form for my car and it never came through. Some people got compensation because you will just forget about it and move on. Many people's lives now that have been displaced, they probably wouldn't get the direct compensation personally because they've moved on, they've relocated to that people's family or they've moved away from that state, but they suffered. So the compensation shouldn't be taken 1 year before it comes through. But we're happy that some states have already proactively submitted their reports and hopefully they will get the compensation that should come to them. All
right, let's take a breather here. When we come back, the newspaper reviews continue. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome back. So let's move on to The Nation. 48 million barrel of crude oil not missing, Malami tells Rep. Southwest states to launch regional power rail projects. Buhari, we have done our best to improve security. UK PM Sunak pledges support for Tinubu administration. Mixed reactions trail subsidy removal shift. Why Tinubu flawed Atiku Obi by President Buhari. 10 burnt in Plateau, tanker accident. Judgment reserved in OAU murder case. What's the reading? So
the Prime Minister for the UK, Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, has sent a letter to our President-elect in Nigeria, and in the letter, the first goal of the letter was to invite the President-elect to attend the Africa Investment Summit, which is the second edition built for April next year. And he mentioned that he's looking forward to working with the new administration. He mentioned how the UK has had a long-standing relationship with Nigeria, and they've had a lot of bilateral trade strength. He wants to strengthen the trade and investment relationship for mutual prosperity of both countries, to enhance trade and investment partnerships between Nigeria and the UK. He spoke about how they are going to continue to help partner with Nigeria to resolve insecurity challenges. He also highlighted the fact that the UK government has been supportive of education and creating jobs, growth, and increasing the relationship between Nigeria. So he's just pledging his support to the new administration when the administration comes into power May 29th, and that they'll be willing to support.
Okay. So President Muhammadu Buhari yesterday said that his administration's target of improving the country's security architecture has been achieved. He said that at the Nigerian Army Trooping and Presentation of Colors Parade 2023. And according to him, he said his target with upgrading of hardware, building of facilities, training and equipping of staff and officers, and structuring of welfare system that caters for more than 50,000 children of the fallen heroes has been achieved. He went ahead, he said in his tenure, he instituted the recruitment of 60,000 soldiers into the armed forces, and thousands graduated from the Nigerian Defense Academy and other security institutions to tighten the security. He also went ahead to present 81 new symbolic flags to the various units of the army, and went on reeling out what they have done. Say before they got into the administration, there were a situation of a lot of crisis by non-state actors, but right now some of those crises have improved. Security has been okay.
Many Nigerians would doubt the
of course, many Nigerians are doubting that.
Improvement in security, but it looked really dashing in the military outfit when he wore it. I wanted to take the quick story about Southwest. So the southwestern part of Nigeria, the 6 states had a meeting in Akure, and following up with the good results from Amotekun, they decided to launch the regional electricity and rail project. Seemed like good news. This is following the Electricity and Railway Act 2023. Prior to this time, electricity, railway fall under exclusively, so there was nothing regional governments could do about it. But in Ondo State, they have agreed to pursue a regional project to cover the states. They call this it's part of the development agenda for Western Nigeria, Dawn initiative, and it will be improving. They are bringing in experts and commissioners for powers, all the commissioners for power and experts within Ogun, Osun, Oyo, Ekiti, and Lagos states will be working, and Ondo State will be working together to pioneer how the region would have power and rail connecting them together. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, it will. So let's move on now to the Nigerian Tribune. Afenifere faults federal government's insistence on conducting national census. Court refuses to grant requests seeking to stop census. There will be movement restrictions during the exercise, according to the federal government. National Assembly presiding officers, let's build consensus, Tinubu tells APC governors. Flood hits Lagos metropolis after downpour. School building, houses in Agege, Alimosho at risk. Next suspends fuel subsidy removal. Allegations on 2.4 billion crude oil theft baseless, lacks merit, Malami. 10 killed in Plateau tanker explosion. Hoodlums burn FRSC vehicle on rescue mission. Court grants federal government leave to file 9 new grounds against Nnamdi Kanu's release. Dawn commission to partner foreign investors to link 44 southwest cities by rail. Sudan, amidst stranded drama, NEMA says first batch of evacuees to arrive Nigeria today. Governors to meet Buhari over Ramfax's new revenue formula. Okay.
So let me take the Sudan story. Many people saw the video of some of Nigerian students that they said that they posted a 59-second video that they were stranded and they had been left for 4 hours. The lady that posted the video didn't mention her name, but she said that they had been stranded for 4 hours somewhere in the desert along Sudan, and that was because the monies hadn't been paid. Thankfully, the NIDCOM commission, chairman of the NIDCOM commission had tweeted that the issue had been resolved, the money has been paid, and good news is that 1,600 evacuees will be arriving in Nigeria today. That's the first batch, and whatever the issue that we saw yesterday has already been resolved, and they are heading back home safely. So we're happy to hear the good news. We cannot wait to receive the 1,600 students right now.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's all we can take on the newspaper reviews. When we come back, we move on to our hot topics. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. It's Friday, and we like to gist some kind of gist from Thursday to Friday. We are already unwinding for the weekend. And so we came across this gist. This person says, stop bringing your single friends to your matrimonial home. That's actually a media personality that said it, Mr. Jollof. Do not, and I saw the video, where he was explaining why you shouldn't bring your married friends. So he gave examples of people that have done it and how the men went back to start having something to do with the friend. And this was like a repeated warning. He had warned apparently before that women should always listen and not bring their married friends home. So what do you think about this? I personally have... Welcome, Maria.
We were 2, now we have become 3.
Welcome, darling. How was it coming here?
Yes.
Oh my God, my goodness. I mean, every time you leave earlier than late, you know, like you've done previously, and you still get caught up in the traffic. So here we are again. I was hoping to come and gist you guys how my journey home was yesterday because of the rain. It was flooded. You know, I had to even stop at one point and park at a bank. So that, because visibility was very low. So happy to be here and start the conversation.
Let's start the conversation already. Welcome. So I was saying that I have quite a number of unmarried friends. I make friends when I go on set, I make friends, and before you know it, you want to come to visit me, and I wouldn't be saying, you know, I can't see you because I'm married and all that. But I know the different compartments that I've kept my friends. So I know the people that I trust to bring to my home. Or I think I know. Nothing has happened so far, but I think I know the people I allow in. I know the people that stop at the door. I know the people that stop at the, you know, sitting room. I know the people that get into the upper sitting room. You know, every friend has a level, but I don't know if you've seen any sort of experience close to you with what this guy is saying. And does it make any sense to avoid having single friends just because you're married for the fear that they will do something?
I'm not I don't feel like I'm the right person to comment on this, because it just occurred to me when I got the topic that I can't say I have lots of single friends, not friends. But when I started thinking about it again, I realized that I have my sort of like mentees, younger girls that I bring into the house, that they come into my house. I think that when it comes to this conversation, we're putting the responsibility on the woman. And the responsibility for cheating or responsibility to maintain the household is not just one person's responsibility. If a randy, nasty friend decodes her way into the house and you bring her into your house, but your husband is upright and faithful, nothing is going to happen. There was a picture, somebody said a customer, a buyer, they were supposed to buy a buyer, and then he sent a nude picture to the buyer customer because they said the girl felt that the man is rich, so he wanted to initiate a relationship with the man and sent her nude picture. And the man now reported to the friend that you told me to buy a buyer from you from this girl. This girl sent me. So a husband can find himself in a situation where your friend, the wife's friend sends a nude or something. He will just look at it, that kind of nonsense is, and delete, because he is an upright man. So Jollof advice should go to the men. Ask your women to marry upright men. They will not have to be guiding their husbands from single women around.
Yeah, for me, I just, you know, you have said it all. But really, when I heard the video and he was giving that advice, I was like, how do men really look at themselves? Do men appreciate the fact that they are painted as these people that have no control over their emotions and over their feelings and urges? I'd like to think that a mature man understands, you know, self-control, and also understands the importance of keeping the sanctity of his marriage instead of just letting it go because one female had just passed right in front of him. I think it's unfair to describe men as people who cannot control themselves. That if you put anything before them, they would fall. Men they are much more decent than that, and you know, they have the right, they have the willpower to do something or not to do, and then they also have choice. So when we describe men like that, we take away choice. We're saying that this thing is not done because by them, it's done caused by, you know, these women, or it's jazz. What's that thing that they say they do? kaya mata, you know, all those sort of things. We always find a way to blame. This man he's under a spell. There's no how. This man. So the men are described as, you know, that they do not take responsibility for their actions. And I think it's just not right to do that. It's unfair. And also, I think it's a tactic that men are using so that they can get away scot-free for bad behavior. Yeah. Really, the onus is on the man to reject offers or not. And also maybe report to his wife or discuss with his wife, I'm uncomfortable with this person because this is what that person has done.
Eye for me.
There's nothing wrong with women having diverse types of women as friends. Single, we learn from each other. Single, married, you know, the married one sometimes may be too busy. The single one has your time. You know, there are some things, the business you're doing with the married one, there's a business you're doing with the single one. There's just 100%. So much that we can do. And then to now deny a woman from having fruitful relationship because you just might fall in love or fall in like with her. It does not make sense.
I like how you have said it. I like how you've put it. But that's, for me, an ideal situation. But this is Africa. And we know that sometimes we don't have an ideal situation. We also know that sometimes some women, young women, are out to get something. They come close to you, they see how your husband treats you, they see how he spends money on you, and they suddenly start liking him and want to covet for themselves. It's happened. And this person who is giving this advice did not just pluck it from the tree. He has seen experience. I think on social media, some of these people there's a current issue they are solving. Maybe that was why he came out to give this again. It happened, and it was taken by the best friend. I don't have the full gist of that one. It happened. So let's not assume, well, it's good to say it's the man that has the onions, but what if the man is tempted? Would you keep... You need to understand the kind of man you have. Now, will you keep bringing... They say, what you don't want to eat, do not smell. Would you keep bringing to the fore, bringing to their face what you know they might fall in?
Don't marry a man that can fall.
Men no go marry be that too.
No. So the truth is, like Mayam said, when you get married, you're supposed to marry a man that can control, that has self-control. That's on one side. On the other side is the fact that means you're not wise in picking your friends, you know, because at the end of the day, a woman should know how to your friend. The way you pick your friends, you attract who you are. That part is there. And by default, you end up attracting decent people because you're a decent person. By some stroke of luck, if you inadvertently invite someone who happens not to be decent into your space, then you have to trust that your husband can fight for himself. That's one side. Something came to my mind just now. If you are having to protect your husband from your indecent friend, then your husband might as well be sleeping around with every other person on the streets.
Exactly.
The man can be, because if the one under my nose is the one I'm taking care of. What if he has colleagues at work? Okay. Most people have EAs that are women. Okay. So he can easily fall for, or would I now as a woman quit my job and make my full-time job monitoring my husband to ensure he does not fall into temptation?
Of course not. Stop. Well, let me ask you this question. There are people who are known to use kayamata for different purposes. So you don't want to, you assume that your husband is okay, right? But it's not clear eye. They have put it in the eye. There's one they put under the eye. There's one, so for those of you that allow your friends to come in and help you cook and all of that, there's one they smuggle into the food and all that. What if you have that? Is it because the man is just...
Cost does not come without a cost.
Okay, so this is what I would say. This is your example. Yeah. I'm happy that you said that there are different types. So if they cannot come into your home, they will meet him in the office.
Exactly.
So, and also to say that men, if you're trying... We have Joseph and Potiphar's wife. She gave him... if he had agreed, he would have been enjoying his life, you know, to the fullest. But he ended up even being in prison. The thing is, if you want
How many men want to go to prison for that?
Well, I'm saying if you want to reject it, you will reject it. It's a choice. Yeah. It is not something that they have put on your forehead that if you see a female, you will fall. You have decided that that is what you're going to do. There's nothing like this kind of matter that will come and just take you out and then you find yourself floating towards this person because, you know, all these Nollywood movies. The truth is the kaya matter will only work for you if you allow yourself and make yourself the breeding ground for the kaya matter to work on.
Exactly.
Okay, let's go on a short break. When we come back, we'll take phone calls and messages. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome back. You can join the conversation and call us on 081-270-53687 or 091-390-76948. We're still talking about allowing or not allowing your single friends to come to your home because you're married or because your husband would likely or may likely start looking at them or fall for them. But let's flip the conversation a bit. What about women who have found themselves falling for their husband's friends? I've heard stories of women who, you know, they have these friends, hangouts that come weekends for barbecue, and all of a sudden you just start suspecting that there's this thing going on between the wife and the husband's friend. Who will protect the wife from the husband's friend? So this is now like the other way around. How do we begin to unravel what happens, whether it's the man that is falling in love or following your own girlfriend, or it's your wife, because it actually happens, that is falling in love with your friends, your male friends?
With things like that, it's the way society puts it. They put the blame on the woman. They expect that she should be able to handle it. They expect that she should be able to, you know, reject any kind of offer like that. It's the other way around. This is the first way it was is the conversation, because men have always been excused for any kind of bad behavior. It's always someone's fault. Or with the woman, it's always her fault. What did she wear? How did she talk to him? What was she? Couldn't she say no? She's the one that arranged herself. So really, women already carry that burden that any mistake or whatever, or situations that happen, they are at fault. I was also going to say, when we're not even in making friends and bringing people into your home, it's not really about being single or married. It's just about maybe making sure that you surround yourself with decent people. There are some people who, and male, female, married, single, who are just not that kind of, you know, they are not decent. Their values are different from yours, you know. And so some things for them, they don't understand boundaries. They don't know that there are some things that are completely, you know, there are some people that will say, well, he came on to me. What was I supposed to do?
I've heard that.
Or you heard the men that will say, yes, and you're the friend. You have had relationships, you know, the saying that the girl code. There are some people that don't believe in that.
They won't know.
Hey, it's your husband, so what? I'm here as well. There's some men too, hey, she's your wife, so what? So you will now decide the sort of people that you put around, that you keep around you, and that's how I think. Let me take this call
if I come to talk. Blessing from Ikorodu. Good morning, Blessing. We lost her.
Yes.
So,
sorry.
Covetousness. Covetousness. So, I feel that there are people that covet what doesn't belong to them.
Okay.
It's a sin. It is wrong. But people do that, and they would always do that. You can't fight the people that are covetous, but you would protect yourself and have conversations. I was saying it before we started this topic, that I had a conversation about cheating and all the different categories with my husband. We discuss it. Why? Let's make it open. Because, like somebody was saying, I can live in a bubble. I have a bubble that I live in. It's this idealistic world where everybody is right, everybody has good intention. And I've lived in that bubble for so many years that if you, thank God for BC, will point out that, see, you're looking at yourself, you're thinking everybody is thinking the way you're thinking. No. Not everybody is thinking like that. You need to open your eyes, and being on the show.
Can I pause you and come back to you so we don't lose this call? We have Bukola from Ayobo. Good morning, Bukola.
Good morning.
You're live. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm actually a first-timer.
Welcome to the show.
I would actually say it's majorly on the woman, because you should know the kind of lady your partner actually likes. And it's true, you said the fire matter. Most people now use that on everything, like they use on their IDs, on food, on so many things. So I actually refuse what the other lady is saying. What she said, it depends on the man, on the self-controlling. I believe most men don't depend on other self-controlling. They believe that this is a society. Let me just take advantage of her. Like say again.
Thank you, Bukola. I think it was muffled.
Let me say this. Nobody falls in love. You don't fall. That thing, love at first sight, it is lost at first sight. You can admire somebody, but you don't fall into like, oh, I fell in love with my husband's friend. It didn't happen. You did not fall. You cultivated the relationship. You guys kept meeting in settings. His eye is entering, he is entering your eye. You did not carry your eye away. You were looking at him. He was giving you eye. You were giving him body. You now carry it, enter inside the room. You say you did not plan it. It is, if any wife ends up having a relationship with her husband's friend, he did not fall. They grew into it. And many women have excuse of being lonely. And that's a very silly excuse. I'm so happy that when Maya mentioned the story of Joseph, somebody quoted in the Bible and said that, he said, hello, Mariam. Joseph eventually became bigger than Potiphar and his wife put together. Self-control and fear of God brings honor. And I think that we don't talk about it enough because we see a lot of young girls that are saying small girl, big God, and they are dating from one married man to another married man, and they seem to be living in a big house, driving big cars. We are now making it look like that is the way. No, that's not the only, that is a way that you would look like you have money, but you are dishonored in your money.
There's a way that seems right to a man.
The end of it is destruction. Yeah. So there's a popular lady that is on Instagram. I will never mention her business, but like she's really popular. And she was dating a very, very notorious man. They've stopped dating. She has older men. We've seen her with different people. And she's very hardworking. She has a business. And I see her business and I'm like, girl, many people make money from men. Not all of them turn it into a thriving business like this. So you have the raw materials, but you allowed your skill and your wealth that was already designed for you to be tarnished with the fact that you got the seed capital from a man. You would have still been successful if you had just stayed the path of being honorable. She didn't. Many people are jumping the gun because of money. What you are looking at in another man's wife, you are looking at in another person's husband. If you just stay your own path, you will get your own.
So, let me come back to you. We have a call. Fumi Lola. Good morning, Fumi Lola.
Good morning. I'm first time Lola.
Welcome to the show.
First time callers today.
And you people are looking so amazing. I
Thank
love
you.
Show.
Thank you.
Yes, actually, when it comes to having a relationship with maybe somebody's friend on all that, self-control it is. Everybody can be tempted. Nobody is above temptation. So you must learn to have self-control and then draw the line. There must be boundaries. There must be boundaries. So, and these days you see that boundaries are the point of the when everybody is just saying, oh, I can't help it. This one is my bag. What is your bag? What is not good is no good. If it is not yours, it is not yours. So that self-control is just
self-control. Thank you so much, Fumi Lola. I like how you have painted it all. Hard work is good. We are talented people now. We want to put in the work and everything. But some people will tell you that hard work is a long way to get that life that you desire. And so if somebody can just easily give me or help me or lift me or be my sponsor somehow, why do I want to be suffering? What will you tell those kind of people? Because if you see the way the society is, don't be looking at me like that. You see the way the society is, you say you are working hard. We're not working hard. Is it that easy? But some people don't want to wait anymore. We have young people who do not want to wait anymore. They just want to have their cake and eat it. I know I have talent, but before the talent will blow, I need a sponsor to fast-track the talent. Is that so much of a crime?
Okay, so you see, the way we have taken this conversation now, we're not going to be talking about polygamy.
Before you talk, let's take Gloria from Abuja. Good morning, Gloria.
Good morning, ma'am.
Morning.
You're welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm not just the first-time caller.
What's happening today?
Getting through.
Okay. So I've been following your program up. And the topic you guys are shooting this morning is very, very...
Thank you.
Before you take a friend to your husband's house, you should know the type of friend you keep before inviting them. Before you even be with a friend in first place, you should know the kind of person she is. Is it a person that you can take around to where your matrimonial home? Is it someone that you trust so much that you can say things to? Is it someone that you can live around with your husband? So So those are the kind of things you need to know before even letting somebody, no matter how you think you're close to that person, those are the kind of things we know before we letting someone into our home self. So that's just what I wanted to chip in.
Thank you so much, Glory. Let's take a short break. When we come back, I'll take Miriam's response. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, with utmost joy and gladness, I present to you Morayo Afolabi Brown as a guest co-host on the show today. Give it up, give it up, give it up.
Today, I had to walk from Alakbere. I had to get out of the car. Then I walking all the way down, and then I got a Marwa at Ikusi. And now I said, "Oga, I did good for television. Please, just allow me. I don't get 1 naira on me. Don't worry, just enter. So now drop that the TV. Yeah. So
did you see any security officials on the road trying to?
No.
You didn't notice?
I didn't notice. No, I didn't see. I was just focused on let me get TV.
Welcome.
Cool, thank you. So what are you guys talking
So
about?
this is my first experience having you on the side of the
yeah,
table. We're
yeah.
feeling like
Finally, I get to air my
Finally.
views. Yes, go ahead, tell me.
So we've been talking about single girls,
Right.
allowing single friends after you're married into your home because the fears that something may happen, may not happen. And that's what we've been talking about. And we've shared different experiences, why you have to pick your friends, be sure they have the same values,
Right.
you know. And I would like to hear your initial thought. Do you think it's right to have single friends? And do you have single friends who come to your home?
Right, so you see, when I got married, I think many of us, we had this advice from aunties and mommies saying that, listen, you're now different though. You're now married. So all these are single, I'm not saying you should leave them, but you know, they're just different. You know, they'll advise you to separate yourself. And sometimes even your husband expects you to just, okay, now we're trying to build our home. Let your single friends stay where they are because you're no more single. So there's that initial aura of we're now married. But however, the truth is that they're your friends. If they're your friends, they're your friends. No matter even that was status. Their friendship to you is not based on the status they are. They are who they are to you. They're kind, they're nice, they're fun, they are good to be with. They are your friends. So when being married, yes, you need some space, I would agree, to build your home and focus on a new friend, which is your husband, which is your new spouse. Yes, so you have to build this relationship. However, in the initial, I'll advise that, yeah, you can have some room, but later on, you must have them as friends. Now, in my own case, the first few years, I had a very good friend.
Before your case, let's take Mr. Charles. Good morning, Mr. Charles.
Hello, good morning.
You're welcome.
How are you doing?
We're doing amazing.
First time caller.
Welcome to the show.
I want to, sorry, I'm Bookie, right? I just want to put something in. You're sounding like without God you can overcome whatever it is, whatever temptation you come across. See, marriage is really not, how will I put it? I would say you overcoming whatever temptation that comes to you is just by the grace of God. Yeah?
Wow.
So you saying you need to this, you need to be this, you need to be that, and all. If you don't have the fear of God in you, I'm sorry to say you will fall for 1,001 men if you don't have the fear of God in you. So me as a man, me not cheating on my wife is just the grace of God, really, because every single day you come across one temptation or the other. You just take the grace of God for you to overcome it. And the girls outside these days, they are all after married men. They don't even have time for single girls.
Wow. Thank you, Charles. So we're about to tell us your
So I was saying that
personal
my own story. So when I got married, I had a really good friend. You know her. Probably some of you already know her. She's single. And when we just initially got married, she herself gave herself space. She just felt that, well, let me just let you be. I tried, and in fairness to me, I tried to be by myself. But I realized that a few years into marriage, we still needed our friendship. We still needed that connection. So we found ourselves. I mean, today we're back together. We are really cool. But sometimes marriage just makes you feel as if you have other responsibilities, not just friendship. However, should you intentionally barricade your relationship from a friend? I don't think is necessary, especially when the man and when both of you are both responsible adults. If you know the kind of man you have now, if you have a social philanderer, because we all know our
A
husband,
village something.
the guy that likes to, you know, because you married him because he's a guy, you know, he's a guy man, as they call them. If you know that kind of person, maybe for your own safety and peace of mind, you can exempt yourself. But those of us that married good people, responsible men, we can confidently have friends around because we know who they are and what they can do.
Yeah, we have a call. I've had friends, single friends, for as long as I can remember. I always have them there. If I do like this, they're here. I do like that, they're here. And they've been of immense help to me in my marriage, you know. When I need people to hang out with, they're always there. They show up for me. When they're doing something, I show up for them. It's been like that. But I asked a question earlier before you came in, which Miriam was about to respond, and she will respond now. I said, for some people, Tope raised a very important aspect, which is if you are talented, as a woman, you should put in the work and, you know, wait for your success. Your time will come, your success will come. And I told her that there are people who, they're talented, very talented, they're able to do their businesses and all that, but they feel they need a sponsor somewhere. They need someone to push them. They need that extra so that the stress is not so much. And I said, we here are hardworking. How much we don't make from the hardworking? But some other people will say, I can't wait for that long. I need a push. Now, how do you handle it if a friend now decides, maybe Miriam's husband now, hold back.
Stop using my husband as an example.
No, you are sitting close to me and you are the one responding to the question. And I need a sponsor now. I want to shook my eye
While
inside.
Miriam is asking for that question, I had exactly that scenario. I had a friend who was, I think she was divorced at the time, and she wanted to start a business. And she just felt that my husband was the best business partner. And I said, we get an office together, you know, we have meetings, you know, because, you know, you can speak very well. You know, I was just looking at her. My husband was like, yeah. So, fantastic. Don't tell they were just talking.
She's single.
She's single at the time, and they were just talking. They were talking business idea. He was not like, okay, I have these friends here. She was like, oh, I have this. The thing how they can start an office, have an office together. I was just watching them. I was just smiling. When she left, I said, Uncle, you're starting business with who? Are you okay? What are you? So you be going for business meetings. They are saying, when me and next Wednesday are going, are you all right? Come on, it's not going to work.
Why did you do that? Did you?
Because I don't trust. But listen, let us not be children here now. When you are continually in the same space with the same person, you are going for meetings. After meeting, you have to go lunch. After lunch, you then say, oh, let's stop by here. You're stuck in traffic together. I was stuck in traffic today. What if I was stuck with my friend's husband's partnership, whatever?
But nothing will happen. You are a decent human being.
But you spend more time.
You know, when it comes and you add something to the mix. Now, everything's up in the air. So, I was going to say, my initial response to your question was, we're taking this conversation now to the part of polygamy. After all, we have had the conversation where we say that a man is not really cheating as an African person. A man is allowed to marry as many wives as he can, and if the person happens to fall, you know, within your vicinity as a friend, that's cool. But I was also going to say that we have these hardworking women who have everything, but they're not looking to your partner or your husband so that they can have more money or so that they can have more push with their career or their business. They are asking, they just want what you have. You're probably the same sort of ladies, you know, you have good jobs, you have good career, you're friends with your husband for a long time, but they don't just have the married life. The fact that he comes back home at the end of the day and people are sitting and gisting, the companionship that you have, and she wants that. So that's, for me, is even more dangerous. So that's someone that wants your life, whether you're there in it or not. You know? So that's why we're saying be careful the sort of friends that you have around. Friends that understand boundaries. So it's important that you have your boundaries. And if a person does not respect the boundaries, you can take yourself out. And that includes the opposite gender. As for a man too, you see your wife, you have friends, and then you have a friend that seems to want your wife or want the life that you have created with your wife. That could also signal like a red flag, and you put the boundaries in place.
That was deep. Let's take a short break and let it sink in. When we come back, we continue this conversation. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So I'm taking this up from where Miriam left off. You have a friend, you've been together for years, you're both successful, but now one person has a successful partner as well, and you're now asking yourself, why not for me? Now, as the friend whose husband has likely been snatched or taken, how do you notice when envy sets in? Because you may have started from the same base platform, you loved each other so much, but then there's this new person who comes to sort of give you that peace, that joy. So when she's saying, I'm lonely, or I'm doing this, I say, he just came back, he got me flowers, he hugged me, he did this, he did that. And that person is asking herself, I can also have this for me. How do you spot when there's a shift in the energy?
So I thankfully watched Michelle Obama's interview yesterday, The Light We Carry, and she shared so much wisdom that I feel it's appropriate here. We have friends for different seasons, and she was talking about when she became the first lady. There were some friends that were really good friends from way back, but they couldn't be with her there. She said so the oxygen gave out. They didn't have enough oxygen to come that high, and she knew that she was representing a generation. They could not afford to mess up. So she didn't want, I must not mess up, my husband must not mess up, my friends must not mess me up. So she said she used the word slow ghost. That she slowly ghosted them. And they are still friends, they are back to being friends now, but in that season, she couldn't have those friends with her. We were in the makeup room, and the makeup artist, when somebody was using a language, I said, this language, there are places where you cannot use this language. You must be deliberate to groom yourself for the top, so that you will not be around the top and they would shenko you to the side because you cannot be there. So when you're in a space in your marriage, it's for you to understand that this is my very good friend, but for where she is now, I cannot show my happiness the way my happiness is shacking me in front of her.
Wow.
Because of where she is. And then I will slowly protect, because it might not even be conscious, but our spirit is exuding unconscious envy for what you have. And it might
so you must be discerning to
know that, yes. Yeah.
So for those, okay.
I was going to add to that. I was going to just say that I had that experience, in fact, the perfect experience where I didn't spot it. I'm just always oblivious of what is going on around me. Only those around me can say, Morel, they tap me to tell you, Morel, get in line. My husband knows. And he tells, there was this same friend came to the house and was talking to my husband, put up her trousers. I want to get a liposuction. Do you think I need a liposuction? Telling my husband to help her check. I mean, I didn't think it was a big deal. I was like, well, you're fine the way you are. That's one win.
Poor man.
And then this same person will come to the house and say, I wish these children were mine. I see how fine they are. I wish these children were mine. Little things. My husband had to call me and sit me down and say, Mariam, we need to let go of this person. Because what she's doing is she's setting the foundation for envy. When somebody comes into your house talking about they wish your kids were hers, or telling me, trying to come close to me as a friend, asking me to do stuff around, can't you see it? I said, no, I can't see. She's just a very nice person. He was the one that severed that relationship. Person probably thinks today that I'm the one that it was him. He insisted, auntie, delete her number, don't call her again. That's it, we're done with this person, because he could sense it. So sometimes many of us women that are trying to be so nice and kind, we forget to notice those things. But sometimes we have men who are able to see from afar
and tell you
that, you know what, you need to nip this
relationship. Yeah, that was the same point I was going to make, that sometimes you may not be discerning because you're too close to the person. And you excuse every behavior, every red flag as, oh, that is how this person has always been. But thank God that, we don't live in a silo, as they say. We live with people. And where your husband does not see it, you have friends that see it. You have, people who want your best at heart that would notice something and then, bring your attention to it, and then you start to pay attention. And if you are, and I feel like the best way to handle this, maybe the slow ghosting is a nice method to do it. So you're not always available for some reason, because this person, you have history. And usually with friendships, you know, it just doesn't start out of the blue. Maybe you have shared
struggles and things like that. So it's hard to just say, you know, you're no longer my friend because I can see you giving me some red flags, but no evidence. Do you understand? Just this feeling and vibe. So it will be, give little excuses here and there. And if the person is open-minded, if you can have a conversation, but not everybody is, but mostly I think that's slowly just giving that person space. And also some people are discerning of themselves and self-aware that they will give you space. They will now realize, oh, I find myself wanting what she has and, you know, wishing it was me. And I don't think it's giving off great energy. You find your friend that is leaving you and you're wondering why. They would never tell you, but they have noticed that this is what is happening to them. And so they'll give you space too. They are protected. So in having those kind of friends, your antenna has to be very high. I can see you from afar. There was somebody I was seeing one time, and I was talking to my husband about it. He will act like he's not seeing, whether he's seeing or not. He will just say he's not seeing. Luckily for me, I was celebrating something, and this lady came around, and then my mother-in-law walked into the sitting room and saw her, and she called me to the kitchen. She said, "Who is that person there?" I said, "It's our friend." He said, "Let her never come to this house." I said, "Mommy, what did you see? Did you see what I saw?" He said, "Yes." I said, "Oga, come to the kitchen." We had that conversation in the kitchen. That's thing I'm telling you. My mother-in-law has seen it. This girl never comes back to this. I said, what is wrong with you, these two women? I said, no, what is wrong with you? If I see her here, I don't want her here anymore. So I was able to spot, you know, that. But that's on one side.
Can I get in here for a second? Because the truth is that, yes, we have those issues. But what if also we build enough restraint by ourselves individually to say, okay, the world is going to throw things at us. I can't stop a woman for being sexy. I can't stop a woman for being friendly with my husband. I can't stop a woman for being kind or wanting to work with my husband. I can't stop that. Life happens to us. But can we therefore develop within ourselves some kind of restraint to understand both male and female, husband and wife, know where to draw the line? Maybe we should strengthen our abilities to draw the line and not always assume that people will leave way for us all the time.
Yes, so the drawing the line is you are not coming to my space again. So if you like him on the outside. If I catch you, I catch you. I will not give you an opportunity to like him in my space. House. That's encroaching into my territory. Nice. But before I continue, let's take this call. Yes, Tokwe. Good morning, Tokwe.
My name's sake.
Hello.
Hello.
Wait a second, waking up.
Good morning.
Yeah, I'm Tokwe. I'm calling from Ebeda.
Welcome, Tokwe.
I'm the first-time caller.
Welcome to the show. Our namesake.
Thank you. I like this topic you guys are airing this morning. In my own opinion, we ladies, sometimes we talk too much. We talk too much. We talk too much about our marriage, about our life, about everything going on around us. And when you have friends, whether they are married or they are not married, you need to set boundaries. There should be boundaries. Sometimes, some people, they don't even have that intention. Whenever you talk about yourself, you talk about how your husband is doing, how he's caring, how he's this, how he's that. Before you know it, some envious people, they will start nothing, all sorts of bad things in their mind. They want to be in your space. Wow. They want to be in your place. But if you don't open up to them in every way, that they will know everything that is happening in your home, they will not be able to penetrate. Even in friendship, apart from marriage, business, or whatever, there should be boundaries. Don't.
Thank you so much, Tokwe. Yes, but I wanted to also bring it to siblings. It's not only friends.
Exactly.
It's not. We've had people who've shared their stories of siblings, maybe younger siblings, sleeping with their husbands. So they come into the house, all of a sudden, you allow your sister to do everything.
Both ways.
So does it mean that it's the female gender we must separate from coming very close to us? Or how do we, because you can't tell when a sibling is going to do that kind of thing. I don't think so.
I think it's happened both ways too. It's happened when a man will bring his brother to the house and the brother will be servicing the madam. Servicing the madam. So it can happen both ways. I just think that we should be more aware and that awareness journey is what will make us be more sensitive to knowing this I cannot take, this I will take. And another thing is having conversations. When you get that awareness, talk to your partner about it, that I think that this person, the way he's looking at you, I just feel like it's something, have you noticed that he's looking at you? Have you noticed that she's looking at you? So that, because if you raise the awareness level, it might just feel like, oh, the person is just seeking financial advice. But he's actually not seeking financial advice. He's seeking
another advice.
Another advice. So, and usually love doesn't, like I said earlier, love doesn't fall, you don't fall in love, you grow. So you have that much time, like Remi said, this thing, you cannot be business partners. It's not as if that the girl probably had any intention. No. She might have no intention, the man has no intention, but you're working together, you're seeing yourself every day. The man will realize how smart this girl is. She will also realize how smart this man is. Then something would happen to something, and one day you just cry on somebody's shoulder.
Are you not saying that your husbands cannot work with ladies? They have ladies in the office.
No, of course they can.
That are smart and they go for meetings together. So
that's why...
Before I come to you, let's take this call. Tonya is
our calls that are coming in before
Good morning, Tonya. Hello, are you there? I don't think so.
Okay, so that's why from the very beginning when we started this conversation, we said it's about self-control.
Yep.
You cannot be blaming one gender over the other. But also, we are talking about red flags, since you notice. So in a situation where there's a friend, like Mariah, there's a friend who wants to do business with my husband, but already there are things I am noticing about this person, and I feel that working closely with this person would blow up in our faces. So obviously she's not the right partner to be. Remember one time we had, I think one of the sons of these big pastors who said that he had employed a secretary and he felt a certain way towards her. And he spoke to his father about it, and the father said he should let her go. Yeah. The conversation, of course, was out there, and people were like, how dare you let her go for not doing, I mean, it's his work. He has decided that this work, yes, you know, you're great and all, you haven't done anything exactly to sabotage my business, but you may sabotage my whole life. You may sabotage my marriage, and my marriage to me is really more important right now. So he ghosted or, you know, let her go. So we're not talking, so it's important that you yourself, you have the self-control. The man has to have self-control against all other, your siblings. You have to have self-control towards his siblings. You have to have self-control towards the gardener and the driver and you know, all the things you hear, the generator repairer, the plumber.
Before they say, madam is anything in trouble.
Let's take a short break. When we come back, the conversation continues. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome back. So Mariah had a comment?
Oh yeah, when Mariam was speaking, I then remember that marriage actually is not for boys, it's for men and women, adults, people who are mature, have a mature mind. Because when you were speaking, I was thinking to myself that what happened in my situation was the fact that I had a man who had self-control, which is what you use. Because in my own thinking, in my own head, I'm thinking he was actually protecting himself. It wasn't so much of, oh, Mariah, this person's going to come and destroy. Maybe, I'm thinking, speculating that he also was possibly connecting with this, because she was a fantastic friend. Babe, hot, cool, nice, we had fun. Even I enjoyed her company. So I know that I could feel the discomfort. You could feel, even him. So it was more of him recognizing that, okay, this friendship, if we continue, hey,
anything can happen.
So the earlier I let go, that's why I say sometimes with marriage is a mature institution. It's not for babies. Yeah, these are things you face, and you need to make decisions on the run.
And that's also because his eye did not dey there. If his eye was there, you
won't
know.
But
let's take this call. Yakub from Dokwemu. Good morning, Yakub.
The old timers have got
Good morning.
Good morning.
Obi, this morning, this topic is very, very important. Very, very important. Earlier on, when you started the program, you were mentioned of Kayamata issues. But Sister Doctor was like, no Kayamata can do anything. I have to disagree with that.
Thank you.
It takes the grace of God. You, for a man, faithful. The faithful in the sense that if a lady really wants you, she can go anywhere. She can do anything to get you down. You see, it takes the grace of God for you to stand tall, not to fall. See, you forgot some certain thing here. We are talking about friends here. What of siblings? In fact, I was once banned one of the wife's siblings not to come to our house. You know why? Because these men, they always see something from afar. You know, when this lady always comes, the kind of dress that she always puts on, it's not that because I can control myself, but because I don't want to fall. I don't call my wife and say, come. If this, your sibling wants to come here, this is my do and no do. You get it? From that day, she's supposed to come. You get it? And then I even went to one of my friend's house. Meanwhile, I saw the lady, the way the kind of the looking that was looking at my friend. I thought my friend attention that this lady is up to something. That I said, no, it's my wife, you know, sister, Morayo, at the end of the day, you know what happened? Something happened to the extent that I now realized that I told you that initial stage, what did I tell you? But you were telling me that your sister is your wife, you know, sister. Now you are false. The marriage nearly collapsed. That is the truth. So, one thing that is that it takes the grace of God for a man not to fall.
The grace of God for a man not to fall. The grace of God for a woman not to fall, uncle. Yes. Or so for the men.
It's willpower.
Is it food? Is it something you put in the road to
They
Jerusalem? Is it what exactly? How do you use kayamata exactly?
So
okay, go ahead.
They are different. So the kayamata that I thought is just to sweeten the process. Aphrodisiac. That's
So you put it in, you take it in.
Some
as a tablet.
take it in,
some you insert, some you drink as tea. There are different things. But those are like normal ones. But then on social media, it's as if the kayamata has entered like a little bit of jazz, where people are expected that if you use it for a person, the person has gummed you for life.
Yeah,
I also remember when I was in school that they said, so, OOU, that's Labisi Obanjo University, that they should not try those girls, though, that they do insertions. Like they have some people that will help them to do some
cuts.
Tiny cuts in their private area. Anybody that enters there, you are hooked for life.
Hey.
Now, the thing, so for me, that's why I say cost doesn't come without a cost.
So the person has
you need
to enter.
In most cases, you must engage for it to hook you. So if you don't go and be tasting what you should not be tasting, it will not hook you. If you don't go and touch what you should touch, it won't hook you. So it is the first point is that ability to flee all appearances. So that's the thing. The wisdom is don't come to my house, stay away from me. Yes, that's when you are. That's the real thing.
Yeah, let's take another call. Alex. Good morning, Alex.
Good morning, ladies. Good morning.
Good morning,
Hello.
we can hear you.
Yeah, good morning. I'm a first caller.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. The topic you are discussing this morning is quite interesting. And it happens to men and women on daily basis life. Now, the question is, do we allow, maybe I say an opposite sex, an access into one's matrimonial home? I think that is what we are discussing. I would say it all depends on a number of factors.
Okay.
I remember when you started this program, somebody made an allusion to the biblical story of Joseph at Potiphar's wife. I remember. Now, concerning this story, the Bible made us to understand that the Potiphar's wife entered into Joseph's room and decided to take off her clothes. So the woman appeared naked. But we were made to understand that Joseph did not look at the nakedness of this woman twice before he fled. Judging from that action, you will see that it takes the special grace of God and the fear of God for anyone to be able to resist such a temptation. We need to ask ourselves, how
How many men have this fear of God? Maybe that's the question.
Grace of
Yeah.
God.
I always think that we always just ask God to do things that we can do ourselves. You know, special grace of God. Yes, that's a given. But what are you doing to control yourself? You must have to learn how to discipline yourself, no matter what situation you find yourself in. So the easiest thing is only God can help us. So only God. Yes, God will help you regardless. That's the constant. But we also must be able to begin to build restraints to stop ourselves from falling into this kind of engagements that cause you to.
Mariah, you're just actually saying what I had said in the beginning. I feel that with men, especially with men, there's always someone else to blame apart from themselves. They have blamed women who are just dressing anyhow, promiscuous women. We have blamed Kaya Mata. Now, we are now calling for this special grace of God that comes down like an apple. And you have to enter, the apple has to enter your mouth. Like, oh, God, I got the special grace of God. No, self-control is the special grace of God.
Exactly.
Simple.
I like that. And I think God gives you, he said he has given to us all that pertains to life and godliness. So all this calling on God to help me, God will help us, grace of God. He has helped you already. So it's now for you to be disciplined, it's now for you to use your logic, it's now for you to have your values. Those are the things that you must do by yourself. But because we are wrapping up the conversation, let us begin to look at some of the boundaries that we'll have to put in place if we are going to continue having our single friends around. So I've noticed that there are some friends that would befriend your husband through your behind. So you bring them in as your friend, and then they have his number, they ask for things, and you're not aware. They don't pass it through you. They go straight to the husband. How do we begin to deal with such friends? And what sort of boundaries can we begin to put if we're going to keep having single friends in our space?
Okay, let me start. So for me, it's not single friends. It's just friends that send off the red flag vibes for me. And so even if I have a friend that even outside marriage, if you and I, as friends, and then I introduce, let's say, Mariah into our friendship, I and Mariah are close. And then I find that Mariah has gone, without me and has formed trying to form a relationship with you. For me, that's already a red flag. So it does not matter if she's single, if she's married, I just feel that that's someone that I cannot trust. So for me, it's not, we make it even look like it's just single friends that could be the issue. The problem is just people who do not have values, people who do not have self-control, people who do not respect boundaries. Those are the sort of people you should be careful
Before I come to you, Maria, let's take this call. Ibrahim from Jos. Good morning, Ibrahim. Sorry.
I would even think that you don't need boundaries if you have real friends. Because if I was a real friend to you, I think that I would respect your circle. I respect the fact that you need some space. Just like your very friends, Michelle Obama. Her friends knew she's in the White House. So there's certain people we can't go there, not because we don't want to go there, but we just cannot be in that circle. So maybe the kind of choices I've made has given me this label of who I am. And me coming to Michelle Obama can affect what she's trying to achieve. So I respect that. I know that whenever she comes to Chicago, maybe she comes home, we can be cool. But in the White House, I can't be seeing her because I respect and understand what she stands for. The same way I respect what you stand for. There are things I want you to do. If I go into your circle of real estate and start misbehaving, it's disrespectful to you as a person. So if I'm a real friend, I understand, okay, you're married, you probably need some space. I'll give you some space, but I will still be friends with you. So I think that you don't really need boundaries if you have real friends. So new friends, maybe they can be cautious because you don't know them very well, like your old friends, but yeah.
So I feel that I think some people don't know. So except it is business, I'm not going to call anybody's here's husband because we're not friends. Neither are we supposed to be. Even if we're friends that were cordial, I'm not going to call your husband and say, I'm gisting with your husband. Like, where did it start? From where to where? I just want to greet you. So I'm not one for idle chats or just idle conversation. And I think that it's important that people learn that. So somebody is watching right now. They feel like, but it's my friend's husband. I should be able to just call my friend's husband and just gist my friend's husband. No, don't.
You know the
Find your own friends.
That when you travel there, cook and take to your husband's house.
I've heard of those though. I've heard about those, and I think it's just very wrong. Don't try it. Don't try it.
It's how you come to your story.
You need to bring Brian has plenty stories.
Let's take this call. Gabriel from Abuja. Good morning, Gabriel.
How are you?
We're doing amazing.
Okay. I don't know whether there are two programs running simultaneously.
We cannot hear
I'm
you.
looking at the video now. Thank you. How are you? Hello, I'm hearing you. I am loud and
We can't hear you, Gabriel. I'm sorry. Yeah. So you want? You wanted to give us.
This same friend. This friend.
Hey.
Wow. This same friend. Amazing friend. Fantastic. I mean, I actually miss the friendship, but so she was traveling. She was traveling with her family. So she sent us food. Lots of food in the house. And I was so happy. I mean, she had cooked in her house. And I sent us food. I was so happy. Everything. So I just came to my house and I saw boxes and boxes of soup. And I wondered, what happened? She's traveling to the US. So since she just recently cooked and everything, she now gave us. I was so happy. But then, while I was talking to her on the phone, she didn't ask about how I felt about the food. When she said, let me see, is your husband there? And I spoke to you. She was talking to Brown. She asked me, so do you like the food? Because Brown, my husband always puts the food and puts the phone on speaker. Whenever my husband has I'm speaking to my own friend, he puts it on speaker.
Yeah, so you hear.
He puts it on speaker.
You heard?
Yeah, of course I heard. Like, so how did you like the food? He's like, at the time he hadn't tasted it. He's like, I would say I've not tasted it, but I'm sure it's nice.
I'm petty.
For me,
why didn't you ask me? You didn't ask my own opinion. I'm likely to say.
See again, because she's a friend.
For me, so I can tell my
I
friends.
just didn't think there was a need to do that. So
because if you're really just friends,
I won't think that.
Right.
I will ask.
Well, before you say what you want to say,
There's a call.
Let's take this call. Wolabi from Egbeda. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Fine. Very important topic today. Very, very important topic always. I think we have to flip the guys, both men and women. Because I've experienced one whereby a friend of mine called me, let's do this thing together, this and that. Let's buy a half of one plot, let's share it. But the woman always supports, like, Uncle, buy this thing, I buy this thing. So there was one fateful day whereby I went to their house to get the document of the land because it's a full plot and we are sharing half. But I just noticed the woman started using hand to rub my lap. I was just like, no, this is my best friend that wants something good for me. Even the land, I said, I'm not interested. The woman was just like, no, it's an opportunity for you, it's an thing for you. So I felt like, okay, this guy is not ordinary my friend. Even up to now we are family friends, but I don't go to their house. They always come to my house and I make sure that, okay, they don't sleep over. So I set the boundary because the guy, my document, everything, this guy is there. Okay, if you don't have this thing, let me support you with two. How much do you have? Add this one. I just want the land to be in your name. Let's share it together. And we have been doing this thing together. So I set the boundaries. If the woman is around, they always look me somehow like, go to Jamaica, this and that. But I left my boundary. Even this thing, I let my wife drive out now before I can call you. So that you won't be using that eyes to look this same person. So thank you. Have a nice day in Nigeria.
But shouldn't you have told her?
What?
I don't understand. So why are you bothered about the eye that they used to look at?
You know, I know someone who said she went to visit a friend, and when she shook the friend's husband, that
thing they do in the middle.
Yes. And so the question was, should she tell her friend? And when she tells the friend and the husband says, that never happened, this your friend is a wicked
liar.
So what do you do?
That's a different show. That is a different show. But I think that is the slow ghost. We will never shake ourselves again. We will never, if I'm greeting you, if a man is greeting me and you're putting hand
I would not come to my house again.
And like,
I had a guy, I had an ex, somebody that I dated in the past. And we're friends, and we broke up on a good note, so we're cool. But then he got married, and I met his wife. And obviously, I could tell she wasn't comfortable with me being around. And he was really cool. He was really for us to be friends. But I realized when I saw the discomfort I was giving the wife, I left it.
Exactly.
I moved away because I knew, but he was cool because whenever he comes around, hey, how is Nigeria? What's going on? But I asked of his wife, how is she doing? Did she come with you? If she not come with him, I'm not going to go and see you. I cannot come and visit you for what. No, so I create those boundaries myself. So everybody, aside from husband and wife, human beings, friends, family, love, we should create boundaries ourselves too.
Thank you so much, ladies.
I
am sad we have to end this topic. We're taking a short break to come back just for the remaining 5 minutes before the show ends. I'll see you in a bit.
Stay tuned. Your view will will be right back.
The traffic did us dirty this morning. But we have Kunle Remi, Nigerian actor, TV host, model, brand ambassador, entertainer, and a Nollywood screen god. Welcome to the show. Sorry about the traffic
for a while.
We're all in that traffic.
Yeah, welcome.
Nice.
The time is really short, so just give us the gist about the
manicured and all.
Good. Oh, thank you.
How was the nominations?
The nominations. I fall into the category of the non-nominated actors.
Yes. Yeah, so you
It's
know.
a new category.
Yeah. The new category. So we're among those who felt really upset. How dare they? So, but we would like to hear from the horse's mouth how you felt and how you took it.
How I felt. First things first, it was. It's not my show, right?
No.
It's their show. I like the fact that the world spoke, that people, everybody.
I mean,
why
yes,
not?
why
No, we
not?
can't really have the answers to that. They have the answers to that. But for me, it doesn't reduce my value. It doesn't make me doesn't make me less of a screen guard. Doesn't. And Nicola, which is what people were expecting, still broke the record he broke.
Yes,
Right?
it did.
Still the #1 watched film in globally in the language film.
Wow.
Next to Squid Game.
Wow.
Yeah. And I put in the work, I saw the effort. And I didn't do that because of the awards. I did that because it was a challenge, and it's such a privilege to play that character. And we will never forget Saru. I think that's the greatest award.
Like he was shocked to hear you speak English. When he watched Nicola, we just thought that this fine guy, this guy. And also he said, he was shocked. Wait,
Yeah.
So, but how were you able to change? Well, I know we run out of time. but
Yeah,
Very short time.
Let's just go straight
Yeah.
to
What are you working on?
What am I working on? So many things. I have a new movie in the cinema now. The Coaches again.
Oh,
It's in
yeah.
cinemas, yes. I'm going back for Anikalapo series again. Yes, and it's
Oh, you're
sick.
dead.
It's sick.
Okay, no, you're not.
I don't worry, there's so much. I mean,
You'll resurrect
it's
him.
sick. There's Anikulapo.
All right. Fantastic.
It's a fantastic. I'm looking forward to it. So
Okay.
it's a whole roller coaster again.
So how many seasons are you guys planning for Nicola? Just first season?
I can't say much, but trust me,
Yeah.
it's
For it.
yeah.
I'm looking forward to the Kujes because it has all our favorite actors from you
Yes, Don
to
Jazzy.
Bisola
Yeah.
to Don Jazzy to Bimo. It's just
The funny, the
years.
Eligible bachelor?
yes, he is.
yeah, he
He's
is.
still in.
So,
See the way I said it, right?
Do you have someone? Do you have someone?
Who's there?
Anybody?
I think we're done from the time has gone.
The time.
Who's there?
We have to go read.
I have to come back. I need to come back. No, I have to come back. I need to come
We
back.
have to go. We have
It's
to
good
go.
to have you on the show.
Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So final words to your fans before we let you go.
Keep doing your things. Keep being amazing. Keep living.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, ladies. Thank you, Mariah, for co-hosting with us today. Thank you, Tokwe and Miriam, for bringing fire to the table today.
And maybe to the fans, we'll be doing a little behind the scenes with him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Get to
So,
watch it.
gotta
on
know.
our social
and that's
media.
all we can take on the show today. We'll see you again Monday. Bye-bye now.